When I was 7, I became fascinated with butterfly cocoons. I'll spend hours watching them, wondering what mysterious transformation was occurring that could turn a caterpillar into something so beautiful. The magic of metamorphosis captivated my young mind, and I longed to experience it for myself. Determined to transform, I would wrap myself tightly in my blanket and lie perfectly still. I would then close my eyes and wait patiently for hours, hoping to emerge with the delicate wings and the graceful flight of a butterfly. Looking back, I would chuckle at this childish experiment, but yet, I feel no embarrassment, just immense gratitude for the boundless imagination and curiosity that drove me to understand the world with such wonder-filled eyes. The truth is that I wish to see the world as a 7-year-old again, when we were our most authentic selves, before the world taught us to be otherwise. We were old enough to explore the world independently, yet young enough to see wonder in everything. We would let our curiosity shine, hadn't yet learned to fear judgment for our questions. We would share our curiosity with others, hadn't yet learned to doubt ourselves in social situations. Close your eyes with me for a moment and imagine yourself at 7. What were you like? What would you have been doing? What would have fascinated you? Maybe you were the kid who collected rocks, convinced that each of them had a story to tell. Or you were the one who stared out of car windows, imagining ninjas running alongside and jumping across lampposts. Or perhaps you were the kid who stared at clouds, seeing castles and dragons, while others only saw splotches of white. For me, I was the kid that drove my parents crazy with questions about everything. Dad, why do leaves change color? Mom, why do stars twinkle? Grandma, have you ever been on the moon before? Each answer led to 3 more questions, an endless cycle of curiosity that knew no bounds. I wanted to know more, and so I asked, and asked again. But something happened to the curious child. No, something happened to all those curious children. They grew up. Firstly, we became numb to the world, caught in a rush of deadlines and obligations. The daily grind of our lives wore down our sense of wonder, and we became blind to the mysteries of the world. We stopped asking not because we didn't care, but because we were too busy, too tired, too focused on getting through each day. The world, still full of its mysteries, now became background noise to our scheduled lives. We stopped asking not because we ever knew the answers, but because we just forgot how to wonder. Secondly, we became paralyzed by social consciousness, a relentless fear that made us hesitate to ask questions, to let our curiosity shine. In kindergarten, I was an eager beaver. I would voice my questions out whenever possible. But as I grew older, I began to restrain this natural curiosity. This reluctance stemmed from a persistent fear of being seen as foolish or even uninformed to others. To me, each unasked question felt safer than risking the subtle sighs, the raised eyebrows, or even the whispers of, shouldn't he know this already? Shouldn't he know this already? But I let this affect me. Thirdly, our self-consciousness affected the way we connected with others. As a child, I would meet another kid at a playground, and within minutes, we'd be best of friends, sharing snacks and making out games together. But as I grew older, forging these connections became increasingly harder. The curiosity that made me first ask, want to play together, now turned into hesitation. Because of this, adult relationships now became a maze of unspoken rules, norms, and careful boundaries. I started to measure every action, every word against an imaginary social acceptance board. I would ask myself, should I reach out? Does it make me seem desperate? Or I would ask myself, oh, should I try this hard? Will it make me look extra to others? And sometimes I'll even ask myself, what should I say to them to make them actually like me? All these questions became my constant companions. and it turns simple interactions into complex social calculations. My friends, losing this innate childlike curiosity has made us indifferent to the very things that once made life extraordinary. Realizing this, I did an experiment. I lived as my 7-year-old self would for a month. For a month, I asked questions whenever I felt like it. When I saw someone reading a book I loved at a cafe, I didn't just silently appreciate the taste. I would go up to them and tell them. When I got interested in a topic, I would reach out to industry professionals to learn more. But the most profound changes didn't happen in these individual interactions. It happened in the way I saw the world again. The curiosity started seeping into every aspect of my life, and I seemed to live with more purpose. I seemed to live with more purpose. Yeah. So, my friends, you may be asking yourselves, but I can't live like children in my everyday life, could we? Well, you're right. I'm not telling you to abandon all adult responsibilities or professional demeanor. I'm saying that we should just embrace our childlike selves more. Here's the crucial distinction, the difference between being childish and being childlike. Being childish is being immature, or being childlike is having and maintaining the sense of wonder. Let's take a look at history's greatest innovators. Einstein once famously said that he had no special talents, he was just passionately curious. Steve Jobs was known for being able to maintain a beginner's mind, being able to approach each problem as if it was his first time. Marie Curie never lost her fascination with radioactivity, even as she became one of the world's most respected scientists. These weren't people who succeeded despite their childlike qualities. They were people who succeeded because of it. Their ability to maintain that sense of wonder, while still being able to combine it with adult knowledge and expertise, was what set them apart. Now, let's take a look at what happens to our brains when we're curious. Firstly, we learn and remember things better. Researchers at Carnegie Mellon University have shown that curiosity triggers the release of dopamine in our brain, the same chemical that makes us feel good when we eat chocolate when we fall in love. It is as if nature is designed for us to be explorers, rewarding us for our desire to learn. But it goes deeper than just feeling good. Researchers have also shown that when we are curious, we become better learners. The hippocampus, our brain's memory center, becomes more active, allowing us to remember not just what we are curious about, but also incidental information we encounter along the way. This explains why a child who is curious about dinosaurs can remember complex names while struggling with spelling basic words. Secondly, we live longer. In a research paper published by SRI International titled Curiosity and Mortality Aging in Adults, the study showed strong links between curiosity and longevity. The study followed 1,000 older men and showed that those who scored higher in assessments of curiosity also showed lower rates of mortality. It is like curiosity allows us to live longer. But most intriguingly, curiosity allows us to communicate better with others. In the landmark research paper, When Curiosity Breeds Intimacy, researchers at George Mason University found a strong correlation between curiosity and social connection. They found that individuals who approach interactions with genuine curiosity form deeper connections because when they're curious, the neural pathways associated with empathy and social understanding activates. This may explain why children are much better in small talk than adults are. My friends, these aren't just feel-good neuropsychology, it's hard neuroscience. The very same qualities that made us endlessly curious as children is what drives learning, fosters meaningful connections, and promotes lifelong physiological and mental health. So, what would our lives look like if we embrace the inner 7-year-old selves a little bit more? It will be approaching each day with fresh eyes and endless questions. It will be making friends without the fear of being rejected. It will be seeking help without the shame of it, learning for the joy of discovery, and sharing our thoughts without fear of judgment. For you see, after all, growing up doesn't mean having to grow away from who you once were. We can learn to integrate a fearless curiosity with our adult knowledge and experience. Now more than ever, the ability to approach situations with childlike curiosity isn't just helpful, it's essential for survival. Artificial intelligence may have vast amounts of knowledge, but they lack that spark of curiosity that drives true innovation. Our childlike curiosity is now the most powerful differentiator as adults and as humans. It is what allows us to see past the immediate answer and imagine possibilities that no algorithm could ever conceive. So my friends, when we embrace our inner 7-year-olds a bit more, we're not just doing it for personal fulfillment. We are developing the very qualities that will define success and innovation for mankind for the years to come. The world's challenges wouldn't be solved by people who just accept things for the way they are. They'll be solved by people who never lost the ability to ask why. Thank you.